Good evening, for Enterprise fans, and welcome to the Monday Night Community Race here on the Free Enterprise channel. My name is Garen, joined here with NGDave, our restreamer, LSL doing the tracking, and a co-commentator in the booth, Scarcer. How are you tonight, Scarcer?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing tonight?
It's been a hectic night, but I'm here now, and all will be much better, hopefully. So, first time I've actually been, I think we've done comms, and we were on a team together in the last tournament, but nice to commentate with you tonight.
Nice to commentate with you too.
So, we have an interesting new flag set going on here tonight for the community race. These flags are called Underground Undertakings, and the objectives are all centered around things to do in the underworld. So we've got the Dwarf Castle, Lower Tower of Babel, the Cannon, uh, the King and Queen of the Fey March, completing the Sealed Cave, making Young for the Pan, and also having Coco Forge the Legend Sword of the Adamant. And make this really fun, we've decided to take away some of the power characters. There's no Fu in the Seed. Cecil and Edge are going to be behind a. They're restricted, so they have to be behind an item somewhere. And we're also putting in the summon locations in the pool, so there's a possibility of something being on the moon that's required. Anyways, this flag set also, we're giving Z a break. This is an O-win flag set, so all the races have to do is finish all the objectives in the underground, and they will win the game.
The O-win flag make things very. Oh, I lost my word. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, it could make a jetty if the underground isn't all that complicated. It can maybe cause a little bit of panic if we have something like an early or starting magma key or darkness crystal or what have you. And it looks like we're off. We have a Yang to start with, and getting paired up with a Porum and a Pinktail. So we don't have a whole lot of power to start with here, do we?
That would appear to be the case, and adamants are off, so even an early hook might not be all that much more.
True, although it could be maybe your edge behind that hook if it shows up. We don't know. So we have a little bit of divergence to start. We've got Narrowcad going up towards Castle Damesian to look for some stuff up there. Antidale is checking out the Castle Troya. Irie has found Artemis, hiding right there in the Baron Inn, and on this flag set, Artemis has a bonus, so that's nice and easy to find.
Oh,
Edward,
it's just a Zeus rage from Bedward.
Bedward is being extra useless in the sea. That will help on the turtle and maybe an AoE boss, and that's about it.
It could be helpful if Leviathan or Odin show up in a lower HP spot.
Okay. Gong is checking out the free treasury down here in Troya. It's a mute dagger that could be helpful. Vampires for sale here in the Troya Pass shop.
It looks like Narrowcat is getting ready to go up Hobbs and see if that holds more power for him.
A lot of our runners are selling off the stack of rune rings they got to start off with, just to get some money going on the seed.
There's a lot of versatility in that dwarf kit, isn't there?
Yeah. Speaking of versatility, we have a Sid up here on Mount Hobbs who is not so versatile, along with a versatile leg doing his exercises. Andy Dale's going to check out the Fabul defense. And runs across a DKC. Not really that bad here. Young can get through this at base level. Fiery is joining Narocod in the Ruby fight. Yeah, it's kind of hard to do justice when the DKC is invading Fabul, you know.
It looks
Ooh.
like
Magma Key from Dale on the Fabul defense.
no fading it tonight.
Nope. So it looks like there's a double dip special for Fabul up, potentially. Maybe even a triple, and if Shield's got that pan. Agong finds Maga Sisters here in the Antlion Cave. The Fiery is also going to join the Agong over in the Antlion Cave fight.
It seems like Narcat is up in Fabul, getting ready to get his magma key, though he doesn't quite know it yet.
Yep. Fiery got through that Sisters fight a little bit faster than Bangong did, just with the power available. He gets the required adamant rock out of this, so no fading at Lion Cave tonight either.
It looks like Bedward wasn't quite so useless, since it was that Zeus Rage that got Fire Blizzard through the Mage's Sisters.
Yeah, the key is to get off before the center one gets the reflect off. Antidale's going into the Antlion Cave. He's going to do a little bit of looting here. Nice elixir. Okay.
Now Bangagongs through the Mage's Sisters, just as Antidale gets into them.
Yep, so we got a little bit of retracing of steps going on here in the early game until one of our runners decides to use that magma key. Alright, Bangong is also going to visit Mount Hobbs to get the Sid sitting up here. Dale has an adamant. And Fiery is through the Fabul defense. all four of our racers have decided to take the Sid that's up here.
I mean, without permajoin, Sid's got a nice bit of HP that makes him kind of useful in the early game.
True. I mean, his usual role as anchor is a little bit nerfed because we aren't fighting Z this time, but you might still want some anchoring on some of the underground fights, especially the sealed cave. Antidale is going to go and loot the free chests in Evelyn Castle and just reset out of the traps.
The treasure setting is T Wildish with a max tier of 7, so Evelyn's gonna usually have something good. See a Dragoon armor, crystal hat. And Enjade of our restreamer is pointing out that the Dwarf kit gives a Dwarf axe, so Sid is set up for some easy anchoring. The Dwarf axe also enables the back row glitch, which is on for this flag set.
Yeah, I mean, it's helpful if Kane comes into the party because Dwarf Axe is the only thing that can back row Kane under normal circumstances. And Antidale will be our first racer to open the underworld up with the Magna Key. Pass on the shops for now, won't pass go, and will not get 200 gold. Fiery has found a plague behind that D-Mist in Town of Baron, and will pick up Rosa and a tower key, also required. So Dave really wants a very, very highly required overworld here.
Does that mean our Luca key is going to be behind the Twin Harp?
That depends on if Harumph had anything to do with setting up the location of it this time. Fiery is also going to use the Magnetic to get underground as Nirukad and Bangong finish up the available free checks in the overworld except for Mount Ordeals, which, considering we have three boss fights up there and not necessarily anything to get out of benefit for right now with no Cecil, no Kella, and no boss hunt, it might be faded for a bit. Or maybe a lot. And there's always the odds, it's like, if you already have 3 required items in the underground on the overworld, what are the odds there's a 4th? Could there really be a vanilla legend sword up there?
Anything is possible.
Yeah, anything is possible, and technically, at this point, the legend sword is the only thing we need left in order to get into go mode here, or at least no mode. Sorry, the pan. I'm forgetting the pan because Yang thing is in that checked slot. All right.
Well, we do still need the Luca key, so it's 3 things.
Did we not find? Oh, that's a T, not an L. All right. I spent a long day looking at spreadsheets.
Though, speaking of vanilla locations, it looks like Antidale has pulled a rat tail from the Feymarch freebie.
Alright, so now we're just looking for a hook to go with it and turn both of those tails. Pentagon is going to give us a look at the Dwarf Castle shops, at least. It looked like a vanilla Ashura in the Queen spot. I didn't see who was in the King spot. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a different blue robe. That's okay. King Queen.
Looks like we have a Mylon variant in the king spot.
Yeah, well, King and Queen here is going to be free because they don't really do a lot of damage no matter where they are. So they will just despawn after a minute or two here. And we'll give a nice pile of experience to this fairly low level team. Nerukad is going to decide to do ordeals. We have a counterplay to the other three right now. We'll see if this pays off.
At the very least, Nerukad will get some information as to which bosses won't be showing up at nastier spots.
Well, we have an octopus who's gotten stranded on a bridge. And he deals through the Queen spot and gets a Dragoon Lance for the Kane not yet appearing in the seed. And we'll leave the Fey March for the time being. Bangong is also heading down to the Fey March to join Fiery, who's already here.
And it looks like Antdale is heading into the Dwarf Castle, knock another objective off the board, and potentially get a Cecil or an Edge.
It's going to be Tella. We know it's going to be Tella, right?
Of course it is. The warp glitch is off, and there's no use for Tella.
Tella can do other things besides just warp. You know, he can clean the floor. Alright, Fiery's through the Queen fight. And also decides that Mylon is going to stick around for the time being. We have the Baron Guards in the back spot of Ordeals. This is not a very fun place to see them, but this is going to get berserked. Might have something to take these out with. And there's a Bahamut sitting in the Dwarf Castle. Fiery's off to set up Sheila 1. And Nerukad is through the Baron Guards.
Now it's time to see if Nerukad's Gambit is going to pay off.
Alright, Antidale is through the Bahamut in the Dwarf Castle. Getting some nice experience for this Porum. Darkness Crystal for Narocod. That's interesting. Gives you a character, gives you a chance at a sneaky K value.
And that was an edge from Dwarf Castle. So it looks like we're getting a little bit of extra power pretty much right away.
And Yang is fighting Yang, of course, because why not? And a delivery driver is our job dwarf of the day. Hey, at least Edge can get other stuff like, maybe a black belt or a power shirt or something like that. I'd rather sell the ninja shirt to guarantee me the edge.
Yeah, and a ninja shirt sells for just enough to buy a ninja hat, which is probably better.
I think I saw a pan come over from the Dwarf Castle check. Yep. Okay, so that's Dwarf Castle is a double spot today. Not only the objective of finishing it, but also bonking Yang.
And Antidale's going to have a nice surprise waiting for him from Sheila 1. Fiery Blizzard showed us that it's just a Murasame, which would be really nice for that edge.
Well, Sheila does have some goods today. Narocod, meanwhile, is going to show us the moon, it looks like, and see what the character is up there, and maybe do some shopping and peek that boss.
Yeah, with T Standard on, that moon shop could be a source of some exclusive goodies.
Yeah, I mean, sirens are off, so I'm kind of wondering what goodies it might have you really want up here, but maybe hourglasses would be nice to see.
Hourglasses would be nice. Some Bacchus wine would be nice with this melee heavy party.
We drank all the Bacchus wine when we had our team. And Sheila's got the hook. So at the very least, that'll give Antidale the chance to get rid of both of those tails that are getting a little bit ripe in the inventory bag.
And with an edge in his party, do you think Antidale's going to check the hook character?
If he thinks he might want a Cecil, maybe. Oh, there's a Cecil on the moon, though. So Narukad is now looking for a Holy Sword to go with that Cecil. Let's see. Narukad's got to check out the moon shop next. Hourglasses, very nice. And Antidale gets the Holy Sword for the Cecil that Narukad just got. So... and the Rat Tail just has a You know what you call the crystal when it's not required?
Shiny rock.
For the pile of crystals from the series, yes. Looks like we're gonna check the hairdryer chest for some loot and some experience. Making good use of these hourglasses. Lost one with Yang dropping there, but gets one off.
It looks like Antidale is heading down the hook road. Probably just see the character.
Yeah, launching the Falcon is not an objective here, and oops, it's just Iridia, so he is going to exit right out of that. The fight between Iridia and the Dark Elf is just going to go on and on. At the end of this scene. Looks like Antidale is going back to Baron. Aegon is trying some trap chests in the Evelyn Castle, looking for some good loot. Take some bluster on Sid, that's unfortunate. Fiery gets a pan. And very odd dwarven fashion to be actually wearing a pan around your neck.
There's a statement to be made. I don't know what it is, but there's one to be made.
Well, when we get Sheila and Luca together, we'll ask them about that. Nerukad is through the hairdryer, did some life glitches, got a ton of experience, and got arty arrows. Aegon is through the trap chest. It's a gold apple. And Antidale is going to knock out the Tower of Babel, which makes sense having the tower key, get 2 for 1.
And it looks like Nerikat's going to be heading into Cave Valley and taking a peek at the boss there.
Hoping for a relatively free one up here. We still have a couple on the board. Typo guards would be, I think, the nice thing to see here with those hourglasses.
And with hourglasses, the Dark Imps, pretty doable here. Oh, but it can't be the Kaipo guards because those are on Antidale's screen. At the is that the top of the tower or the tower room?
I believe you went to top the tower first.
Oh, as Zeus Rage cleared them all. That was the that was the super cannon room.
Well, Nerukad's either got a somewhat free one here or a really nasty thing here. We'll see. Mystery Blue Robe is the Water Hag, which is kind of fast here and might take the party out before they can get 3 shots off. Oh, and I was wrong there. That was the can room that those guards were in. Yeah, Nirkad gets bonked by the Water Hag before getting all the shots off. Might rearrange the party and try this again.
Looks like he opted instead to drop his battle
Well-
speed and give himself more time to get the inputs.
Speaking of other Freed, the Dark Imps are here at the top of the tower, so both the things we thought were nice to see on the moon are actually here in the Babel Tower. Yes, Water Hag has been working out with all those behemoths on the way to the spot here.
You don't become the hallowed father of the Eidolons by asking nicely.
On the other hand, if Water Hag is father of the Eidolons might want to revolt over that. Banagong is still clearing out the Castle Evelyn. And it looks like Nirukad is going to get through this Water Hag this time around.
And it looks like Fiery Blizzard is trying to steal some sirens on the way up the Tower of Babel to sneak some extra XP onto his party.
Yeah, and the K value only has a white shirt today, which would be nice for that Rosa or that Forum, but unfortunately not any progress towards our objectives.
It could also be really nice for the Cecil if you end up doing cover strats for the King spot.
Yeah, which might be a thing if that's, let's see, we know there's a Mylan of some flavor. Alright, so Bango is going to go up the Tower of Babel now. That's in the chest for now. Might come back on the way down. And Angel should be finishing up the Dark Imps here. Fortunately, a little bit slow without anybody to insta-kill them or stone them or coffin them or whatever, but gets through. It's the Baron key for the trouble. Oh, and there's a crystal sword in the Tower of Babel. Had to show up somewhere, right?
I suppose it has to show up somewhere, but our runners don't have to get it.
If it shows up, unless your inventory is full, you kind of have to.
Well, yeah, you never say no to a crystal sword on purpose.
Um, no, Crystal Sword was actually in a trap chest at the one of the trap chests on the first floor.
The top of the tower was the Baron key, right?
Yeah, Baron Key was the top. And we're going to find out now from Auntie Dale what the cannon item is. That's a spoon. So Edge now has a nice dart for that Mylon in the Fey March.
And it looks like that's exactly where he's headed.
Yep, and there's no real need to save the spoon because, with the exception of the king on the basement throne, there's not really any other challenging bosses that would really be blocking any progression here.
You could get something particularly fast at, or something that can leverage Evil Wall's speed in the sealed cave.
Yeah, that's true.
Have we seen Wyvern yet?
No, Wyvern has not made an appearance yet.
Well, the longer Wyvern takes to make an appearance, the more likely Wyvern's at the sealed cave.
That would be particularly nasty considering that we don't have either Witchburn or Wyvern on with this particular flag set. And this Feymarch Mylon is actually Mylon Z. If any of our runners get a Cecil and a Holy Sword, this will crumble in no time flat.
Antidale does dart one of his holy swords at Mylon Z, and it's unfortunate that elemental resistances and weaknesses don't apply when throwing items.
Yep, it's also going to get rid of the spoon here, so going all out to make this a fast fight. Does not know about the Cecil or anything like that, because hasn't been to the moon or gotten the Darkness Crystal. Not that either is required.
It looks like Bangagong has just received his Baron key as Fiery is heading to the fight just now.
Yep, and we got Nirukad checking out the Eblin Castle, looking for that Holy Sword for the Cecil. It's a defense sword instead. Doesn't know that the Tower of Babel is the place today for the magical Holy Sword. Annydale is through the Mylon Sea. And this one has a package. So it's an item, but an objective, but that package is probably not going to check this stage of the game, I don't think.
At this point, with only one or two fights potentially required, seems this will probably be Antidale's final party.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to turn that Baron key in and see if possibly the king of either the upper or the lower throne has the Legend Sword or the Luca key, which we're still looking for. Alright. Meanwhile, Bangong is going to check out the Dwarf Castle bosses as Nurkot is finishing up Castle Eblin, and Fiery is running down the Tower of Babel to get the reward from the cannon, and yeah, try to find the last couple items needed to clean up.
Looks like tonight's been a bit of a jet seed with how there's been nothing particularly nasty along the way.
Let's speak Wyvern at Sealed Cave into existence now, do.
I mean, that's exactly what I'm looking to do. It's great.
Okay, well, if that happens, the runners can talk to you about that one. Alright, so Annandale's gotten through the dolls, who got lost and got into the wrong castle. Finds a sparkle on the throne. And we have a Nope Noodle sitting up here. I'm not sure why the people of Baron decided to make a Canadian their king, but okay, I guess that works.
Maybe they were looking forward to some good healthcare policy.
I don't know if healthcare is really a big thing in the world of Final Fantasy IV here.
Well, either way, Ogo's crumbling out of existence. And we're about to see what character Dwarf Castle, or Baron Castle, has in store for us.
Well, it's got a bard. Also in the wrong castle. And that bard will be sent off to Mysidia just to take his heels back in the Tower of Wishes. Wishing he could have that spoon that was already darted. And his harp is going to stop the wall. And the Baron Trash Bucket is the Twin Harp. You like music?
A very Eddie Baron Castle today. And it looks like Fiery Blizzard is opting to take advantage of the fact that Mylon is floating by equipping a boomerang on his edge.
And we have some harp faders in chat. So I think given what we've seen, I think the harp at this point almost has to be required to lead to something. We have another royal sitting on this throne. The Queen of the Feymarch has decided to become the Queen of the Basement.
In her defense, it is a very nice basement.
When were you in the barren basement?
You don't have to be somewhere to know that it looks good.
I've never seen pictures from the place. I mean, I don't know.
Well, the DS version makes it look very nice.
I never got that far in the DS version. It's on the to-do list. Fiery is through the A-March fights. And looks like we'll also be going after the Baron stuff. Shura's husband's buffer brother was elsewhere in the scene. I'm pretty sure we saw Odin somewhere else.
Odin was in the Mount Ordeal's changing room.
Alright, Niruka is just opening up the underground at this point in time. As Fiery is going to destroy the dolls so they can take over the kingdom. Our restreamer is pointing out that you might want to try and take the harp over this Shura fight, which is getting a little bit nasty for Anti-Dale. It does punch quite a bit, and the life ones never land where they're supposed to. Okay, just wants harp. I have a feeling you're gonna get, but then Shura does go down. And we have a legend stick. At this
What
point,
do you think the Forge is going to be today?
the Forge is going to be an Able Lance for the Kane that we haven't seen. But it looks like, I think at this point, the Twin Harp, either via Earth Crystal or directly, has to lead to the Luca Key. Antidale has not yet done Mount Ordeals, however, so we'll stop here first to check it out, because it does not know that this is actually the Darkness Crystal. Which could possibly lead him down a rabbit hole, because if he checks that into the Bahamut, it's going to take a little bit of time. But it makes sense to check this. I mean, this is, I guess he's trying to avoid music at all costs here, but now it's just time to sit up and face the music.
And it looks like Fiery Blizzard found a mute knife, because that edge is hitting for quite a bit of damage in his Ashura fight.
Yeah, there was a mute knife that was in the very early part of the game with the looting, and yes, it makes Ashura have a very bad day, much quicker than Antidale's fight went. It's the Legend Sword. Now, I don't know if Fiery has the harp yet. Doesn't look like it on the tracker, but maybe he might have passed it. I'm not sure.
Well, you can just go straight for the basement, and when you've got power, it makes sense.
Okay, so it looks like did the basement first then. So we'll get the twin harp afterwards here. King kind of dismissed that Sid with that arty bow on him at the time.
Means Cecil and Edge. Who needs an arty bow?
Meanwhile, Annadale does get the Darkness Crystal, and we'll see if he will chase that down. Fiery also saying no to the Bard. And Fiery now has the harp. Question is, will he decide to chase it? The answer is yes. Alright, so as Fiery dives over into Cave Magnus, we have Antidale going, it looks like, for the harp check as well, instead of trying for the moon. Doesn't know that that's the better play right now. And as we leave chat to discuss the finer merits of the white shirt and its various powers, we are going to be getting our first play of music tonight from Fiery.
One of these days it'll be Freebird.
Alright. Antidale will be right behind Fiery, so this might be music into music, as Angong takes care of the note noodle, so we will stand back and let you guys hear the music. Well, seeing as Golbez has ruined our music here,
Very interesting joke to extend the music and abruptly cut it off.
yes, and the Luka key is here directly, so no visiting the Tower of Zot today is required. Doesn't look like. Anti-Dale will also knock off Skullbez pretty quick, right after Fiery.
I believe that puts the both of them into go mode once they forge.
Yes, it should. Now we just have to wonder if there is something nasty down there in the sealed cave that is going to stop them. Because we really haven't seen a whole lot of rude things on this seed other than Golbez blocking music. Alright, get your bets in
Brother,
chat for the forge weapon.
I'm thinking Triton Knife.
We're going with Able Lance. See if chat has any other ideas what this could be. And calls for scrap metal. It's Perseus arrows. Boring in the sense that nobody's going to be firing those. And Fiery is on the way to do the sealed cave. We have not seen the gauntlet yet. No, that would also be somewhat rude here. Just the time investment, because I think only Edge can really do anything about it with this flame, and yeah.
If Fiery Blizzard still has Yang, he does have a Fire Claw in his inventory.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Young's kick isn't going to help take these things out. I mean, alright, but it seems we do have quite a bit of a race between Fiery and Anti-Dale. Let's see which one's going to finish this thing first. Fiery gets the swag off slot cabin. Alright, and here we will find the Earth Crystal, I believe. And what rudeness will we find here at the boss spot? And we will find a vacationing antlion. Was looking for the moon, got turned around and lost. This probably won't be too bad. Edge will dart all the things. Fiery still has a spoon.
And Fire Blizzard is through.
Yep. And Fiery is the winner of the race on stream, just shy of 1 hour.
Seems that Narrowcat has completed the Tower of Babel and is heading down now, while Bangagong is heading into the Fey March.
And Antidale should be finishing up momentarily. Yeah, it looks like Fiery was officially third place in tonight's race with official time of 59 minutes 32 seconds. First racer to finish on stream. And we are joined by Fiery. GG.
GG.
That was a fun little seed.
Yeah, it took you on almost a full tour of the overworld and the underworld.
Yeah, don't do Mount Ordeals. That's the goal.
Well, if you did more ordeals, actually, you had another rabbit hole waiting for you.
I mean, the only thing Ordeals could have had was darkness,
Which
I
it
guess.
did, yep. And Cave Value did not really have the value tonight.
I was a little bit upset because I have my naming scheme as, requesting DKC at King, Mega Sisters at Queen. First two bosses after the Mount Hobbs boss were Mega Sisters at Antlion and DKC at the Bull. It's like, this is not what I requested.
Yeah, chat was, I think, or we were looking for a wyvern to be at that sealed cave to make it a little interesting, because it really wasn't a lot of nasty boss spots this time.
Oh, I was waiting for that Sparkle on Baron Throne to be Wyvern, and just have to run buffer into a Starveil. Apparently, I guess Sid was slow enough anchor that I had to actually run buffer the dolls, which was a bit weird. But no, I mean, it took us through the full tour. A little bit, I guess. I was thinking that Purple Robe was going to be Mylon and Friends, not Mylon and Z, so something I could have done a lot earlier, because it was free with a wizard hat, but overall went pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it did. There was a Cecil hiding out on the moon. That was about the only value out of it. With the crystal sword that I think I don't know if you found it or someone else did.
I found one on the one trap chest I took up Lower Babel to steal a few sirens.
Yeah, so some of the other racers were definitely looking for that crystal sword for the Cecil that they did find on the moon, but we haven't seen him anywhere else.
Of course, it's in Lower Babel. I was hoping for a ninja sword, but that was one of the things turning in or doing Shiloh 1, getting the Mura, being like, this is kind of lame. Resetting, being like, why did I save out in the overworld? I thought for a second about doing Ordeals. I'm like, no, I'm committing to that fade. And then seeing Edge, I'm like, please be the Panad Dwarf, because I just don't want to have an excuse. I want an excuse to go get that Mura again. So luckily that came true.
Yeah, occasionally it's like you reset and then realize, oh wait, I really should have not done that. But hey, it worked out fine for you in the end, right?
Yeah, no, I would say it did. It's a pretty straightforward seed. I basically started doing... I took Baron for the character, and then I realized, hey, it's the Dwarf kit, so we have 10 rune rings. As those of us who have played in, the Eblin Elixir League realize what that kit is, which is his money. And I was like, I guess I'll go grab my freebie, check the item shop, see if there's vampires for sale, and just use that. And luckily, there were vampires in Troya, which basically meant, why would I loot anything?
Yeah, there you go. I mean, Evelyn Castle, I think, was a bit of a time sink for several racers tonight. I mean, it really didn't have the value relative to the time it took.
Yeah, I do wonder what was in there. I mean, once you find vampires, it's like, maybe there's Heroin Robe or Hardy Bows in there, or maybe in Watery Pass, but I was more tempted to try to get underground, knowing that it's forced magma. I was like, yeah, 20 vampires should do enough. And then, I was like figuring my way around play, get Baron into. I'm like, this is not great, but got through it.
Yeah, what do you think of the seeds with O-Win on? Is that one of your more fun things to try, or what?
I think for certain flag sets like this one, it makes sense. Maybe if there was like one thing I could add to this, maybe see hero, rather than giving someone an anchor if they want to choose it. But no, I think for this flag set, it perfectly makes sense. It means that there is a decision, especially when it comes to the king and queen spot or cave value. Do you even take a grind? Right, because I wasted time picking up sirens and then leaving the tower and then taking 3 siren fights on the eggs. And in the end, it wasn't worth it, really. But, you know, that's a risk. When Crystal, where you're facing Zeromus, it's not a question of when or if you're going to get your levels, you need your levels. So I think Owen game and sort of this flag set where it's just sort of a rush of doing things underground is certainly more interesting because you have to balance that question. Do you do any sort of grind or do you just take what the game gives you?
All right. Scarcer, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. Just GG's and good job on the run.
Thank you. And obviously, thank you, Guer and Scarcer, for commentating, Ali for tracking, and Dave for restreaming, rolling this sweet little seed. No rudeness, really. Unfortunate, I'm sure next time it will not be the same. Looking forward to that. Have a good night, guys.
Good night, GG. Thank you. Okay, so Anti-Dale did finish in 4th place with an official time of 1 hour, 1 minute, 20 seconds. GG to Anti-Dale, and we will meanwhile focus on our last 2 racers going on the stream here, Mirocod and Bangong. Bangong is now fighting the Golbez at Harp spot, and Mirocod has just taken down the Ilon Z and the Fate March. And Fiery is going to show us what the harp tune was. Tiger Tiger B from Xenoblade 2.
With how much Xenoblade music is in the harp pool, maybe we should start picking up the games to be able to better recognize them.
I know there's the old joke that it's like if you don't know what the song is, it's probably from Xenogears or Xenoblade, but eh.
And here we see Narrowcat getting his shiny rock to add to the pile.
So let's see. Mirocad is going to do the Baron checks next.
And there's Bangagon picking up the Luca key in his go mode.
All right, so let's see. Niroke is going to go and face off against the dolls. Takes out the orange one, so I get the blue ones down before they merge. And got it.
Rosa could be quite the formidable archer when you give her the chance.
Well, we've got some apples. We got a target. You want to put an apple on top of your head?
I could be persuaded.
All right, Niroke is through the milk noodle on the throne. Bagong is going to get set up for this fight here at the sealed cave.
It's just how fast the spot is, making sure edges at RI1 is a nice bit of a safety net.
Niroke has said goodbye to the bard, but we'll have to say yes to the music, because we didn't give any choice. Yeah, it's the twin harp. And Bangong is going to just dart all of the inventory because there is no need to save it anymore. This is the last fight.
It would be really nice if we could take all these darts with us in the next seed, though.
Where would you put all these darts?
You've got me there.
Dragoon Lance is going to go. That Light Sword will be next if we get around to it. Yurika is taking on the Ashura in the basement.
Seems like he found the box of wine somewhere for sale. So he's casted ball directly onto Ashura and is drinking up.
Yep, and Bangong is through, and we'll also get the GGs out for Bangagong.
Looks like that puts him into 7th place with an official time of 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 5 seconds. The third to finish on Restream.
All right, it looks like we're gonna try and get Bangong in for an interview. And here's Bangong. GG.
Well, thank you guys.
So what did you think? Walk us through it a little bit.
Well, the first thing I was thinking was, what can I life glitch, and how fast can I life glitch it? You know, where can I get some good experience? I was also really hoping to find like some hourglasses underground to maybe get some trap chests out of the way, get some experience that way.
Yeah, we did see hourglasses, but they were in the moon shop, and we didn't have the darkness crystal, I don't think.
Yeah, even if I found it, I probably wasn't going to go there at that point. And as I was running through the steed, it felt more and more like I didn't really need the levels that I got. Like Mylon Z was probably the toughest thing I came across. And I had a pile of Excaliburs and defense swords to throw at him, and glass hats, so that wasn't really a problem at all.
Yeah, and this seed, it looked like really all you really need is just edge darts, and that was going to be good enough.
Yeah, I was pretty happy to find a couple arty bows too, and get the white mages online there.
Yep, definitely. And then there were Perseus arrows to top it off at the end if you really, really wanted those.
Yeah, it's not very often that you really get to make use of those, so that was a nice treat.
As you're going through the sealed cave at the very end, did you have any thoughts of, please don't let me see this boss here, or was that not really kind of in your mind?
I mean, maybe Valvalis? And, yeah, I mean, definitely the Gauntlet. Don't want to see the Gauntlet there. Because that just takes forever.
Yeah, we had a few nasty choices of waiting for us, possibly. We never saw the Gauntlet, we never saw Wyvern, never saw Val.
I would have loved to have seen Wyvern. I still had that one arty arrow I was rocking the whole time. So that would have been just fine. And I gotta say, right before that, I was hovering over the reset button as soon as I saw Golbez and Cave Magnus. Because I saw the finishes start to come in, and I thought, oh, there's no way they sat through Golbez and Cave Magnus. They probably went to, like, Ordeals or something, or trying to think of what I missed, but I decided to sit through it anyways, and yeah, sure, I'm glad I did.
Yeah, as it turns out, Ordeals is where the Darkness Crystal is hiding, and if you took it, and you saw there was a Water Hag in Cave Valley with the white shirt.
Might have been some good experience, but not much else. I think I took off the arty bow once to cast Cure 3, and then I realized she was better with the bow.
I mean, this seed pretty much, the real choice was, do you fade Ordeals or not fade Ordeals? Other than that, it was a pretty linear seed, and it was toured through almost all of the overworld and underworld except for the Tower of Zot.
Yeah, not a lot of regret going to any of these places, because it's just K main and summon, so like your chances of finding a key item anywhere you go are a lot higher. So, which is part of the reason I stayed in Cave Magnus too. Like okay, there's a good chance this is something, and that something could be this Luca key that I really need.
Scarcer, do you have anything you wanted to ask before we let Bangong go for the night?
No, not really. GG.
Hey, Bangong,
Jump on the
anything
run.
else you wanted to add before you concede?
That was really fun. Always good to see Win make an appearance here. Something a little different.
Yeah, it's the second time on community races so far this off season.
Yeah. I always like to mix it up a little bit. Get away from the standards I go for kind of every day. But that was fun. Thank you guys so much for doing this.
All right, thank you for allowing a restream, and GG, and have a good night.
Thanks, and good night, everybody else.
All right, so Mirrorcod is facing the comedian now at this point.
And while Narracad wraps up against the comedian, I'd like to take a second to shout out our wonderful restream team. We've got Engine Dave on the restream, showing us all the beautiful feeds of these runners. Alicel on tracking, pressing all the buttons, and joining me in the commentary booth, it's Garen. Thank you all for making this happen.
You know something, as long as the buttons weren't eaten, that is perfectly fine. Alright, so Nerocod now has the Luca key. And should be able to finish this seed up now in the next few minutes here. Next time I make sugar cookies, I will probably try to just write some numbers in like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and see how that works. Okay, Nerocod is now going to go and do the forge, get some arrows. And it's off to the sealed cave. Well, Nerocod is on the way down here to finish up his seed and get the win. I'd like to point out we've got our community race on Friday night, same flag set, 10 p.m. That'll be on Free Enterprise 2, I think. Let's see, there's also a race of the Tournament Preparation League, I think this Saturday at 8 p.m. as well. and Nirukut is now going to get into the fight against the Antlion. Will steal its first crystal because the Antlion apparently was tired of making sand rubies, switched to making crystals. Totally makes sense. Really geared a party and got a lot of levels, so this shouldn't be too long and coming, and there are plenty of things to start. And Cecil is going to go Burr. Alright, and Nirukut is through, and that would be GG. Okay, looks like Nirukut finished in 9th place with an official time of 1 hour 27 minutes. Let's see if we can get him for an interview. Okay, so GG's again to Nirukut. Looks like no interview for him tonight, but that's totally fine. So, Scars, are any last thoughts on the flags of the seed?
It's a really nice little jetty flag set. I'm hoping maybe we'll get something a little meaner next time. But other than that, it's pretty good.
Does that mean you're racing it this Friday?
Not this Friday, but I'll be around for next Monday.
Ah, okay. So you're wishing pain on people who are coming around on Friday then, right?
And on next Monday.
And next Monday too?
Yeah, I can't wish pain on others without wishing it on myself. That'd be unfair.
Alright, so meanwhile, it looks